It's called a Rolling Thunder. We got two of them sitting here. Both of them weigh 130 pounds. Now, again, the handle, you can't even get your hand around it. It's a thick handle, and it rotates, which makes it even harder to hold. So my brother's going to come up in here and pick them both up, one in each hand, and do a few reps with them. Check it out.
You know, when God allows a crisis, there's always a spiritual purpose involved. I'm going to read today James 4, starting in verse 7. And it says, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up." You know, God comes to the door of your heart, but he won't come any further. He'll knock, but you have to let him in.
That's right. That's right. You know, I heard the great preacher, Tony Evans, put it this way. He was telling a story about his wife, and they had been married for years, and she just recently passed away. But he was telling a story about when he first met her, and she was a little on the shy side. And they had their first date, and he took her to an amusement park, and he bought a couple of tickets, and he took her on one of these rides, you know, these real intense rides where it's coming down, and look like you're about to hit the wall, and then it'll turn.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah. So, in the beginning, he had two seats. She's in her seat over here, he's in her seat over here. As the ride got going, it was like they was in one seat. She came close to him. She was right on top of him. And Tony Evans said that what he did was he created stress so that she would come closer.
Wow.
And he laughed and he said, "Yeah, that's exactly what God does."
That's right.
He wants us to move closer to Him. I believe that God is speaking to us today, our nation, and now is not the time to be fearful, but it's a time to turn to Him.
That's right. You know, on the verses I was reading here, you know, verse 10, you know, in a nutshell, we think we're smart, we think we're strong, we think we're good, you know. But God says there's no good in us. If we're willing to humble ourselves, He will lift us up.
That's right. That's right. And it said, you read about how He said, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. Well, if you think about it, a wolf never attacks a sheep when he's with the other sheep and with the shepherd. You see, the closer the sheep is to the shepherd, the safer it is. And our problem is we got too far from God.
Yeah, you know what? To resist the devil, I think, is to draw near to God.
No doubt.
Just like the sheep are near the shepherd, and they're all together closer to the shepherd, they're safe.
That's right.
When you're in His will and you're walking with Him, you're in a safety zone, I guess, as to where when you're out in the world and you're doing your own thing and you're far from Him. And that's not to say that bad stuff isn't going to happen, because in this life it does happen. But you know what? When you're walking close with the Lord, it's a lot easier to deal with these things than when you're far from Him doing your own thing.
Yeah, and like we said, God allows this to happen because He's trying to draw us to Him. And we encourage everybody out there, everybody, to pray for our nation, that God would open the eyes for the people of this nation, and we would hear the voice of God, and we would turn back to Him as individuals and as a nation.
That's the truth. And this is 100% truth.
We'll see you on the next video.